from three as he matches Griffin's triple. Sullivan gives the Cats back the 1-point lead.
I'll see your three and call you. That's how that game's printed. But those two kids, when you get those two guys in fire, you can tell that he can really get it going. Number 15, Jason Griffin.
Griffin up top to Kakad. He's their best three-point shooter. Here's Kakad, dribbles. Taylor lets him fly by. Pass underneath. Watkins is hacked and fouled. Hammered underneath. Watkins is wreaking havoc and turning that blue paint into gold Wayland paint. Foul charge to Marseille, his first. Team's fifth of the first half. 5:59 left in a low-scoring first half.
But again, that's done on the penetration by the guards. The guards got to stay in front of them and keep them penetrating. As soon as they do, they're very unselfish. Wayland Baptist, unselfish team. And you're right. I mean, he's just having a day. Bobby Watkins killing on slashing to the glass.
Watkins makes the first of two foul shots. Up in the air, Marseille, the hack. And Watkins was fouled. Silva out for Wayland. Sullivan, Marseille, Ewing's leave. Francis Boyd Kellogg return for the Hillcats.
Well, on paper, with the standings, we're supposed to win this game. But like you say, you don't play these games on paper. You play it on the hardwood. And I'm saying, looking at this team, I'm impressed with them. They're a very well-coached team. They've got good size. They've got great quickness and good shooting. What's the deal?
Here's Spicer, top of the key. Three, and he's hit 1,000 points at Rogers State University. And the Hillcats will call timeout with 5:50 to play in the first half. 25-23, Rogers State back in front by 2 with the Spicer 3. And Lloyd Williams calls a timeout to recognize Sylvester Spicer. And how about this for a young man who's been through a whole lot of trials and tribulations in his life? The Dallas native, the ORU transfer. He finally has a smile on his face, but he doesn't keep it long.
Well, what a classy gesture by Rogers State and Coach Williams. And the reason I say that, you're giving up a timeout. You gave up a 30-second timeout that you may want later in the game, but this right here is probably more important. Lloyd Williams, a lot of coaches wouldn't do that, but that's a big achievement. You said this kid's, here it is right here. Here's how the young man, of all people to score his points, 1,000 on a three-point shot. People at Oral Roberts that you see him play would have never believed it. But this kid has turned into a great three-point shooter.
He's 12 of 24 now from three this season. That's 50%.
That's great. And I just can't get over the gesture that Coach Williams did by stopping it, using up one of his team's timeouts.
5:40 left. Action resumed. 25-23 Cats. Sylvester Spicer, 1,000 points in 3 seasons at Rogers State. Imagine if he'd had a 4th season here.
And imagine if he hadn't missed 15 games overall as well.
Right. Rogers State basketball just in its 3rd year of existence. Top of the key, Griffin with 6 to shoot. Throws it baseline left, Watkins. He'll take it to the rim, draw a foul, and I think Spicer will pick it up. Let's see. Yep, it's on Sylvester. And that'll send Watkins to the free throw line for now a 4th time in the first half.
You know, I've been talking about the guards got to stop the penetration. That one wasn't the guard's fault. That's just a 20-foot bullet pass that Spice just maybe got hung on a screen. I didn't really see it. But Watkins just got position wherever he wanted. They made a good pass inside to him.
That's Spicer's first foul, team 6th. Free throw, Watkins good. He's made 3 straight. He's now 5 of 8 from the foul line, and he has 9 points in the game. Watkins in on Spice there.
Well, I'm just going to say this. These officials have done a good job. They're going to go home and look at that call right there and say, wait a minute, Watkins forced that contact. He jumped straight into Spicer, who jumped straight backwards. That's not a foul on Spice.
Misses the second free throw. Rogers State up a point, and then Deverick Taylor turns it over. Thought Spice was coming back out to the baseline instead of cutting underneath at the block. Approaching 5 minutes to play in the first half. Kellogg will mark Sanders as he gates across the midcourt line. Pass to Terra underneath. Watkins shot, swatted out of there. Spicer to the Raptors, descended over the end line.
Yeah, and Spice had enough of getting scored on down there. He's got, it's one thing to come down here and get 9 this end, but when your man's getting that man the other end, you got to stop all that mess. And that time Spice just rose up, caught it with his elbow.
And now 23 left on the Wayland Baptist shot clock. Played into Griffin. Francis marks him. Over right wing, fed to Kakad with Taylor defending. Kakad, a dribble between the legs, will pop it up top to Sanders. 14 seconds to shoot for Wayland. Kellogg marks him. Here's Sanders. He'll dart left, pull up, left elbow, 15-footer rattles through.
I'm telling you, man, they got good guard play. These two kids are tough. They're quick, and they're strong and fast, and there is nothing wrong with this team.
Wayland up 1. Here's Spice. He takes it to the well. Left block. Missed the shot. Offensive rebound. Follow good, and he's fouled. It'll count. And Deverick Taylor with a chest bump for Big Spice right at the rim. Spicer's owning the night so far with 11.
And Bobby Watkins did everything he could physically do to keep Spicer from going up with that shot. He grabbed him by the arm. He held him down before he could elevate, and Spice still had the strength and the toughness to get that ball up on the rim.
4:28 to play in the first half. Watkins picked up that foul. His second, he has to exit for Wayland. That's a good thing because he's doing everything he can to go to the free throw line in this game. Spicer free throw off the back heel, no good. It clips out, and the rebound to Wayland. Rogers State met up 27-26. 4:20 to play in the first half. Rogers State led on the road at the Hutcherson Center in Plainview, Texas against Wayland at halftime. The first meeting this season, 26-19. Here's a steal by the Cats, and quickly Francis directs at the front court. And we'll have a foul called against Wayland away from the basketball.
Boy, as a coach, you can't stand that one. I mean, they just got the ball. Hillcats had just got the ball over half court, and John Boyd's down there fighting for position. They grabbed him, with no play going on. That's just a useless foul you give up.
Silva picks up his second, team sixth. Each team with 6. 4:10 left in the half. Kellogg to direct in to Taylor. He's wide open. Right wing three. Misses it. Tipped. Boyd right at the rim. Will go up and score on the foul.
I'm telling you, Dever Taylor is better off waiting for someone to run at him and shoot it. That's one of those shots I'm talking about. He's wide open, and he's such a good three-point shooter, but sometimes you can be too wide open.
Cats lead by 3, 29-26. 3:50 left in the half. Here's Griffin, catch and shoot three. Parries his second at the left wing. He's got 8.
That is pure. I tell you what, this kid, you recognize him as soon as he walks in the gym with the hairdo, but, man, forget about that. He's just a player.
Spicer lost the basketball, and it's tipped out by Francis on the sideline in front of Robert Davenport, the head coach of Wayland Baptist. It'll be Wayland ball. Tied at 29, 3:37 to play in the first half. They call that the old kid and play haircut. Remember kid and play in the 1980s?
I just remember Will Smith. That's all wearing that on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's 6'2", but he's really like 6'9". He's got
like a
7-inch hairdo up top. It doesn't matter. I can overlook it. They used to have a kid playing that. At first I thought, what are you doing? He had a ponytail. Story was it, and he became one of my favorite players in this conference. He was 6'8", tough, and you get a kid like that, and I think it draws attention to themselves. But if they can play, forget about it.
Danny Story, he played overseas after he left Wayland Baptist. Missed 3 out of the corner. Kellogg couldn't rebound. It fluttered off his fingertips and out of bounds. Matt Kellogg had the easiest rebound of his life go off his hands.
This little Tommy Sanders, their point guard's played every minute, and he's 5'10" and 150 they list him at. He's got about -3 body fat, but he's a good little quick point guard.
There's Taylor defending Kakad. Pitches in the corner. Griffin, another 3. This one's off the heel, no good. Rebound and follow. Silva's fouled, but I think he was fouled on the floor. Silva, a good long body. He's active right at the rim, and Silva fouled the 6'8" sophomore from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and Arizona Western Junior College will go to the free throw line.
Okay, I didn't go down there to Wayland and watch this game, but tell me a little bit about, what's the difference with Wayland right now? They're playing us tooth and nail. They're shooting it well from the outside. They're good quickness.
That's the difference. Only 2 made threes down there. And
Okay.
17 turnovers. Protecting the ball, too. Silva free throw good. Silva has 5. They are a good offensive rebounding ball club. In fact, Rogers State and Wayland both in the top 4 in the conference in offensive rebounds. You see one there after the missed 3 out of the corner by Griffin, and then Silva the board, and he was fouled. Foul on Boyd, his second. Team 7. Silva missed free throw. Here's another offensive rebound by Silva. Up top to Kakad, and he'll reinitiate the offense for Wayland Baptist by handing it to the point guard, Tommy Sanders. 29 points for the Hillcats here in the first half, and we've got under 3 minutes to play in the half. This is not like Rogers State offensively. Down a point, pass to Terra. He shoots and scores after the double pump over Marseille.
Well, I said 3 minutes into this game, this team has got enough ability. We're going to have to really stay focused.
Here's Boyd, a 3, head of the circle, and he hits the triple. Boyd drills it.
Well, that's a feather in the cap right there. That's, John Boyd can't shoot the 3, but can he shoot it that quick and off the run like that? Obviously he did, and that's a big bucket because we were reeling.
Tied at 32, 2:22 to play in the half. Kakad dribbles baseline right, jumps in the air, passes back, and Terra hits a right elbow 17-footer. Terra with offense. That's bonus for head coach Robert Davenport if Terra can score. Marseille travels with it. He drug his pivot foot. And with 2:10 to play in the first half, the Hillcats down a deuce, 34-32 to Wayland Baptist.
I remember last year Johnny Terry hit some shots too, and anybody out of Rio de Janeiro, if they're here playing, they can play a little bit. And he's 6'8", good size, and usually kids that are from other countries at that size can all step out and shoot the 15-footer to the three.
Cats with Kellogg defending Sanders up top. The point man pitches it between the rings to Silva. Thrown right wing now to Griffin, far corner. Sanders back to Griffin, to Kakad. Francis telegraphs and steals it for Rogers State. He'll save the possession right wing. They back off of him. He won't shoot the three, though. He's a little gun shy. Post feed Spicer. Right block, missed it. And through the lane, Burnett comes away with it. Goes up strong, follow no. Rebound, Terra clears it for Wayland with 1:40 left of the half.
What Chris Francis does stepping in the passing lanes is beyond me. I never got steals like that when I was playing. I didn't have the anticipation. I thought I did. But, I mean, he just steps right out in easy passes and comes up with steals.
Here's Kakad with the basketball. Drives in on Francis. Draws back between his legs. And he's pressured by Francis. To Terra. Up top, Sanders. 14 to shoot. 1:20 left in the half. Hillcats down 2, 34-32. Kellogg marks Sanders. Sanders starts the drive, pitches out to Kakad, splits two defenders, pumps it back up top. Griffin, high arcing three, goes through his third of the first half.
Well, I like watching him. The reason being, that kid just elevates like crazy on his shot. I mean, it's impossible to block, and he's shooting it well.
He had 10 against Rogers State down at Wayland. Here tonight, he has 11 in the first half. 52 seconds to go. Cats down 5. Wayland's biggest lead of the half. Dribbling right, Francis from the point, top of the key, Boyd. He'll fake, drive left, Boyd to the bucket, floats it up off the window, and he missed it. It's short, and the rebound snared by Terra of Wayland. Under 40 seconds left in the half.
Boy, they do not look to push it at all. I mean, they get the rebound, they just walk it down. That's the game they want to play, and it's been effective.
Sanders, crossover move, middle of the lane, hanging from 10, missed it, tipped off the rim, right to Sanders, teardrop, bounces out, rebound, Francis finally secures it, he's tripped and fouled.
Chris Francis, between two Wayland Baptist players, going into that rebound, he had about a 12% chance of getting it. By the time it was done, he had 100%. I mean, how does Chris Francis go get two rebounds amongst two players?
Third foul on Silva, 7th. Francis free throws at the other end, or at least a 1-and-1. This break in the action brought to you in part by Community Home Health, also courtesy of RCB Bank, that's my bank, and by Napoli's Italian Restaurant. Find it at 201 South Brady in Claremore. It's tasty, it's fresh, and yes, it's affordable. 21 seconds to play in the first half. Francis, 1-on-1 opportunity, his club down 5. Only 4 Rogers State players have scored. Francis will earn a second foul shot. Francis becomes the 5th Hillcat to score in the first half, his first point. Kellogg out, Taylor in.
21.7 to go on the game clock, so that means there is no shot clock. And the Hillcats just going to have to get back and play good, solid D and try to get in that locker room, only down 2.
Rogers State, 5 of 6 from the foul line as Francis snags both. Lead has been dropped down to 3 for Wayland. 20 seconds left in the half. Shot clock off. Ewings marks Sanders up top. A little bit of a size mismatch. Sanders bounces it left point, Kakad. Francis defends in 8 seconds. Kakad dribbles left. Kakad backs up, nearly fell down. Continues to handle. 4 seconds. Sanders, 40 feet from the bucket. 2 seconds. Drives left, middle of the lane. Hangs, scoops, and missed the shot. Thankfully, or otherwise, that might have been momentum to the halftime locker rooms for Wayland Baptist. As it is, 20 minutes in the books here at the Claremore Expo Center. Rogers State men down by 3 to Wayland, 37-34.
Well, it's not all bad. It could be worse. You're down 3 points, but you are at home. You certainly haven't played your best game, so it could be a lot worse than what it is.
Hillcat halftime show comes your way next from the Expo Center. Wayland 37, Rogers State 34 in men's Sooner Athletic Conference play. This is Hillcat basketball, and it's presented by RSU Public TV and RSU Radio.